Today we'll be talking about safe job procedures. So who needs this training? It could be any employer, supervisor, worker, anyone that needs to understand safe job procedures and recognize and list hazards or develop a step-by-step procedure. What we need to know is to understand why safe job procedure is important, explain the hierarchy of controls, and describe the safe job procedure document. List the jobs that benefit from a safe job procedure. You also need to know how to break the jobs down in steps, identify hazards with each step, list safe procedures for steps, and complete the SJP exercise. You'll have to have a discussion with your supervisor to talk about today's training to make sure that we all understand. So first of all, what is a hazard? That's any condition or activity, if uncontrolled, can result in injury or illness. How do you identify these hazards? Well, you look at what can go wrong. What are the consequences? How could it arise? What are the contributing factors? How likely is it a hazard will occur? So is it a JHA or JSA? OSHA uses a job hazard analysis, and you can get this pamphlet from their website if you prefer. At Connecta, we use the SJP, Safe Job Procedure. It's a written step-by-step guide that details the safest way to perform a potentially hazardous task or job. We focus on the hierarchy of controls to reduce, eliminate the hazards whenever possible. We find that the hierarchy of controls helps us get to the right place in eliminating these hazards. So today is an introduction to safe job procedures. It's going to help you establish them. Remember, our big goal here is to reduce or eliminate these hazards. So what is an SJP? It's a procedure or technique that focuses on jobs or tasks to identify these hazards before they occur. Is it important? It can help you prevent workplace injuries and illnesses by getting ahead of them. Supervisors can use these findings to eliminate and prevent hazards in their workplace. Why use the SJP format? Supervisors can use the findings of the SAFE procedure to eliminate and prevent hazards. They can also be used after an incident to determine what went wrong. Selecting the job is important. We need to look at the frequency of accidents, rate of disabling injury, severity potential, and then any new jobs. Then we identify these hazards. We eliminate them as much as possible, and then PPE and training follow after that. Our first step is to break it down into job steps. Most jobs can be broken down into steps. The trick is how much information in each step. We don't want too much information, but we need to get enough. We need to be able to examine each step for the hazards. Let's take changing a car tire as an example. If we had to list the steps for changing a car tire, we have to be prepared for variables like weather conditions, traffic conditions. There are many different things that we would have to consider, so it might get complicated. Let's take a look at a different procedure that may help us better understand. Planting a tree can be a simple job, or we can make it really complicated and put too much detail into it. Pick up the shovel, position the shovel so it points down, put one foot on top of the shovel, press the shovel in the ground, and more. That's way too much detail. Common error number 2, though, would be not enough detail. Dig a hole, plant a tree. That's not enough. So planting a tree might look like this. Select the site, bring the tools and equipment to the site, dig the hole, prepare the hole, position the tree in the hole, backfill, tamp water, brace the tree, and return tools and equipment to storage. Pretty simple. So now that you got a little bit of a background here, we can complete the SJP. We must make sure that we involve employees that do the job. I like to sit down at a whiteboard, but you don't need to. So let's do a student exercise, operating a baler for cardboard boxes. We want to be able to identify the hazards. We examine each step. For the hazards. So here we have too much information, 15 steps in operating this cardboard box baler. We want you to consolidate these 15 steps into 6 steps. It's going to take you a few minutes, and that's okay. So on the left, you'll see the 15 steps, and what we want you to do is consolidate or group them into 6 steps, then write them in on the right. We'll pause the video now and wait for you to complete it. Now that you have completed, this is what it might look like. Bring boxes to the baler. Place boxes into the baler. Start baler, wrap and tie bale. Turn off compressor and remove bale. Take bale to shipping. It's very simple. You may have something similar. It doesn't need to be exactly this way. So recommendations then would include reviewing this with the employees. Do you need to change the process? Don't make general statements like be careful or be safe. Make sure you review this with the employees that do the job. Get feedback. Revise the SJP annually. Or if there's an accident, it's a great tool to help you investigate these accidents. Here's an example of a completed SJP, or in this case, we use the job safety analysis. So if you have any questions, or if you're not sure of the jobs to conduct your SJP, you may have difficulty in breaking jobs into steps, or if you need input on hazards or risks, you must contact your supervisor. Ask him for some help. Remember, you're not done until you can understand why this is important, that you could explain the hierarchy of controls. You can describe what the SJP document is, list the jobs that benefit from an SJP. You also need to break down the jobs into steps. Identify hazards with each step and list procedures by each step. Then you complete the SJP exercise. You're not quite finished yet until you have that final discussion with your supervisor to talk about today's training. We all need to get on the same page. That's it for our safe job procedure training.